Hey everybody, I'm Reverend Karen Mikowski, aka Butterfly Karen. Welcome to Sunday, the 21st of January. Let me just quickly log that down because I feel like I'm going to have lots of awesome divine messages coming through. I'm sort of tapped into 5D right now, which is kind of normal for me. 120, 24. Ooh la la. It's like the 20. Oh, good Lord. January is nearly done already. What time is it? Let me just lock the time at 1:41 p.m. Okay. Now, I'm just going to sort of stay open because I feel like I wanted to sort of do a table chat today. Bit of a Sunday service, I guess. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff coming in. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Obviously, we know. Oh, God, here we go. I'm already feeling like my... Actually, it's not that my crown chakra's under attack or anything. It's just major... It's heavy because there's major downloads coming in, which is kind of normal for me. I know the difference between downloads coming through and attacks. So mostly attacks don't get in anyway. And those that do, it's only because it's something I just probably need to learn from that, but it's nothing major. I guess that's why I'm going to be talking about sort of energy attacks today and how you need to stop doing that kind of crap. But then again, the people that do it are not going to stop because they're delusional anyway. They're not fully functional, because if you were fully functional upstairs, you wouldn't be doing anything like that. Not quite. I don't care sort of who's raised you, what you've been raised into. I don't care what secret society you belong to or covenant, right? There is an order to everything in any little cult base or whatever cult society you've got going on or you're a part of. There is an order to everything, but then there's a divine order. You can't have your orders, right, without the duality of it. So you can't have dark without the light. It's not going to happen. And plus, light's always going to win anyway. So, which is what always happens. But again, because we're dealing with like sort of delusional people that believe, oh, we're so superior, we can do all of this, we can do what we want. Well, you can exercise your free will to do what you want, but that doesn't mean you're not immune or from the laws of karma. That is the literal, that is the energy you give out, that is the cause and effect you put out there, that belongs to you. So I know I sort of discussed this in other videos, but there's a lot going on now. I'm doing a lot of research, but I'm getting a lot of information and data coming through about people on, I don't have TikTok or anything like that. I don't have any social media site, which is an FYI right there. I have my website, drkarenmakowski.com, and Butterfly Karen on YouTube. Multiple playlists, one channel, that's it. You're not going to find me anywhere else. But social media is a huge effing problem right now with the delusional minds of people. And I kept hearing TikTok, witch talk. So I'm just going to assume that is a place on TikTok for witches. And if you seriously believe, if that's seriously where you're going to get your understanding of witchcraft, my personal opinion, TikTok is full of like very unstable people. That's why everybody's on it. That's why it's full of crazy stuff, crazy people doing crazy shit, right? That's why I don't go on that sort of sites. Oh, you will not. No, that site is not for me. That is not a fully functional platform for anybody on that place. I don't care. Advertising's one thing. I don't even like advertising, but advertising's one thing, right? Because you promote your business, whatever. But the other side of that is just insanity. Not normally functional human behavior at all. It's the complete opposite. So, but that's my personal opinion, and I don't care what people think. I'm not going to change my opinion, because when I sort of sampled feeds of TikTok crap coming through, it's like, this is exactly why I don't go on it. But there's something to do with witch talk. Oh God, seriously. It's no wonder there's no wonder people are becoming very unhinged. I'm just gonna let downloads. I feel like I've just... Here we go. So, oh God, seriously. You know what? It doesn't even matter, because we have... The way I'm sort of seeing the mental health crisis right now in the world, and especially Western society, is the detrimental system that is part of the problem. They create the problem because they've already got the cure. That is my personal opinion. And I don't care what anybody says, right? I really don't give a shit. It's getting worse because it's by design. Now, you cannot condition at least two generations for the past 30 years. I'm being polite. I'm going to say 3. You cannot be mind controlling them and programming them and then having 2 literal generations today full of full-blown narcissism, narcissistic traits. You know, back in my day when I was younger, as a teenager and stuff, we did bad stuff. We were idiots, right? We were complete idiots. We made mistakes. We screwed up and we fixed our mistakes. And, you know, we dealt with the consequences of our actions, right? We took responsibility for our actions. That's not what these generations... It's not these asylum... TikTok is actually an asylum. It is full of people who don't even understand what self-responsibility is. They don't understand anything. They don't know what consequences means. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing half the stuff they do on that place. But we have 2 generations of full-blown narcissists who don't even take responsibility for their actions. They're very entitled, right? That's what happens when you have a system creating absolute sociopaths. And depending on the level of narcissism will define the high levels of sociopathy and absolute psychopathy, right? So, but for me, this is a system. It's by design. It's designed that way. That's part of the problem. You cannot create this knowing you've already got the therapy waiting. I mean, that's sickening anyway. That's no different to Big Pharma. They're going to create these diseases and all that kind of crap because they've already got the cure, because it's all about money. It's all about money. Even therapy, right? So if you can find a great doctor and great therapist today that actually do no harm with what they're doing, right, and they're actually amazing, that's fantastic. Hold on to them. But the rest, I don't trust. Couldn't even pay me to trust them. And you seriously think I would ever go to a therapist that has been indoctrinated into this system over the past 30 years? I'm not going to trust them doctors or therapists at all. They're part of... No. They've got issues going on. They've got their own issues going on, right? It's great when you can find therapists and doctors that know how to sort of help people heal for their own experiences and traumas, etc. But the last thing I would ever want to do, the last thing I would ever do in this day and age is go and see a doctor who's younger than me. You're joking, right? They've been indoctrinated. I'm sorry, but a lot of these people today are narcissists that are in powerful positions where they have the control of the minds of people. I don't think so. I'm a little bit old school like that. I'm not trusting that. Bring back the old doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm going to go with someone who's a lot older than me. Been around a lot longer than me. You see, I am not going to go and get therapy or anything like that from somebody who's younger than me and hasn't even lived yet properly. Not going to happen. But that's just my personal preference and my personal opinion, and that's not going to change. And especially because they're in the same age gaps and generations of the narcissists I'm talking about. I'm not saying they're narcissists, I'm just saying they're from those generations that have been fully equipped and conditioned to be part of that systemization. So, now trying to find really amazing therapists and stuff like that today is quite hard. There's a lot out there. There's a lot, but you've got to do your research. You've got to be careful. Now, I mean, some of the most amazing healers, people that I know who help people, that don't have degrees or anything like that. They don't have any of that. They're not indoctrinated. They just use their own experiences to help people heal and use their own experiences to show people, you can get help. You can get better. Now, mental health is a huge, huge problem right now, and it's getting worse. I have my own reasons as to why that is, but I'm not going to delve into that. But when you cannot, look, you're talking about major addictions, major traumas. You've got generations. When you've got 2 generations at least, a full-blown narcissist, right, raising children, what do you think is going to come out the next generation? More trauma, more. You're talking about selfish parents who don't give 2 flying flip-flops about themselves, let alone anybody else, raising children, raising the next generation of narcissists. And you wonder why you've got an entitled society, a full-blown entitled society. Oh God, seriously. Got a major download coming in right now. So that's just confirmation too. I don't know how you fit. There has to be. You can change this in like 2 or 3 generations, but that's how long it's going to take to fix this mentality, change it completely. Because these are the same people that are selling the kids online. Like they think, oh my God, I can monetize my child, right? I can monetize my kids and all that kind of stuff. I can put this up. No, you're not. You're pretty much selling your children to the worst types of people in the world, on the internet. You're not giving that. You're not allowing that child to exercise their free will. That child doesn't understand what you're doing. It's a form of child abuse, right? The amount of the reason I can't go on TikTok and the reason I can't go on these social media sites anymore is because of the level of crap that you parents are putting on about your kids online. It is sickening, and most of you should be in prison, because a lot of what I had to sort of endure, right, through feeds is what we would deem as child. It's sickening, actually. It's just child abuse. But you don't care because you're all about the money. You're entitled and you can do what you want, and you're their parents. And God, seriously. But that's the darkest side of society today. And now you've got the other side of these people getting seduced by that big black box, the programming machine. So now you've got all of this stuff on witchcraft, demons, every single thing that's dark and wants to seduce you into the dark side. That's what you're watching. Those are what you're binge watching. And when I say binge watching, I mean literally binge watching. And a lot of people today are coming out and watching 2 seasons or 3 seasons of something and labeling themselves high priests and high priestesses. Delusional. Absolutely delusional behavior. But this is the entitlement that you've given yourselves and you've got, and you can do what you want. And then you're going on to these sort of sites. Witch talk apparently is a big one. And you're all discussing what you're tampering with and messing about with and what you're conjuring up. And that is going to become a huge problem within the health and mental health industry. It's because you're not grounded in the minds or anything. You're not grounded in any shape or form. And you're out there conjuring up stuff you don't even understand anything about. Messing around with stuff you don't understand what you're messing around with. And you think there's not a kickback to that. You see, these shows and what you're getting involved in, they're not going to show you or discuss the reality of what's coming back to you when you mess around with this stuff, right? At all, because you would never do it. It would freak you out. Your natural human reaction would be to go, oh my God, I'm not dealing with that, right? So that's why, but that's not how they seduce you into that. They feed you the romanticized version of the reality you're getting involved in. And then you've got everyday people now out there using word magic and spell work and sending energy attacks to people and voodoo and things like, and there's nothing wrong with voodoo. It's the intention behind everything. You see, there's nothing wrong with anything. It's just the intention that you're putting behind it and sending out is the problem. So if your intentions are dark and you're messing around with the dark arts and the darkest people and all that kind of stuff, and you're all conjuring up crazy stuff, right, to send to other people because you're a bit jealous and you don't like them, or because they're different to you. Well, of course they're different to you. You're not fucking normal upstairs, first of all, right? So anybody that isn't like you is a blessing to society. You're not at all. You need therapy. But then again, you're probably they'll have to design a new therapy system for you people in the future because you're all becoming unhinged and you're all getting seduced by it. Crazy. And I take mental health very seriously. But I can't take you people seriously at all. So, because regardless, you still know what you're doing. You still know right from wrong. You might not understand fully what you're getting involved in, but you still know right from wrong. Even your kids know that. And these children that you're raising to become like you, oh God, seriously, even they know right from wrong. But you don't care because you'll sacrifice your children in a hot minute for a bit of fame and fortune and all of that evil stuff anyway, as many people do. So that's evil and sick too, but that's happening. That's becoming a thing. That's becoming a popular thing. And that's because you're worshipping the worst types of people on this planet called celebrities. They sold their souls, right? Well, they didn't sell their soul directly to Satan or Lucifer or the devil, whatever, right? At all. They sold their silly little souls to men and women for money. Mind-blowing. But in order to do that, it's like, oh, we got to conjure up some demons, right? Got to conjure up deities and stuff you don't even understand what you're doing. But you don't care because all your understanding is money, 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 power and money. That's it. That's all you're hearing. That's all is going on. That is your little hamster wheel going, oh, money, 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 money. Right? So there you go. Power, sex. Oh God, seriously. The lowest vibrational stuff on the planet that creates all of this problem. And then you have ministers like me, and there's not many ministers like me either. I mean, I'm a one-off. You know, thank God. And I'm not like any of you peoples. I have to clean up your silly little spell work. I have to clean up the shit you put out there to people. I have to clear up your crap. I'm one of those ministers, right, that has the authority by the Most High to close up little portals, right? That portals, vortexes, whatever you want to call what you're opening up as a gateway, right? Your little gateways you're opening. So many labels for everything in the realm of spirituality. You peoples give spirituality an incredibly bad name. You ungrounded maniacs. So it's really embarrassing, but you are. That's it. And some of your ancestors are just like turning in the graves going, okay, we used to do this, right? But what are you doing? You're shaming us. And that's okay, because that's the fastest way to lose your ancestral protection too, to keep doing what you're doing. But I have to close these little gateways you're opening. I call them gateways. I'm not going to call them vortexes and portals and anything like that. I'm not going to play your silly little label games. They're called gateways, right? And it's the intention you put behind opening those gateways, but you're conjuring up stuff and you're doing it on private land that doesn't even belong to you either. I mean, how dare you people just even think this is how delusional you are. You will open up silly little gateways using dark the dark arts of magic, whatever you're playing with, right? Rituals and stuff. On private land that don't even belong to you. I mean, how disrespectful can you be? But when I'm doing releasements and closing up stuff like that, I don't need permission from anybody. I just need to go to the Most High, the Supreme Divine, right? And go, hey, the actual, right, I've got to clear this one. I've got to close this one up. Especially when I've been made aware of it. But it doesn't take long for me to be aware because I know I work within the energy field anyway. So I know if there's something dark and dense. And I'm like, okay, that needs clearing out immediately. That needs major releasements and cleansing going on here. And I'm always doing that anyway. You wouldn't even know I do it half the time because I don't need a medal and I don't tell people. I just do it, right? Because I don't need attention. I don't need validation for who I am and what I do. I just do the right thing because I don't like the idea of very energy in the energy field in environments being so unhealthy and so heavy and horrible. I like the atmosphere calm and, nice. So people don't suffer from major headaches and energy attacks and stuff like that from maniacs who don't know how to control their own behavior. And oh my God, look at me. Check me out. I've been watching a season of demons and that's it. I'm going to conjure them up. Good luck, because where do you think they're going to go? Just out of curiosity, and this is depending on what you believe in, whether you believe in demons or not, right? But whatever you're conjuring up, and it's only energy, you're conjuring up energy. Energy is in different formations and different species, right? Energy just isn't human. It's in different species. But energy is energy. So when you're conjuring energy up, and it's not very high vibrational, it's very dark and dense and all that kind of stuff. When you conjure it up for whatever you want, oh God, you're the people that are going to start giving up offerings to these little deities and stuff, right? What are you going to do when it runs out, when you no longer want them annoying you? You seriously think they're going to go back in the gateway you opened up for them? I don't think so. They're just going to look at you like you're the biggest little moron on the planet. They're going to stay attached to your energy and they're going to suck the living life force out of you, right? That's what you don't understand. That's the dark reality side of what you're doing. So, now, when you conjure these, you idiots conjure up these sort of stuff to go to somebody else and attach somebody's energy field to hurt them or unalive them. God, thank God there is a spiritual jail for you peoples too. Because the moment you start doing stuff like that, you're going to be dealing with karma, right? That is what's coming back to you. What you're putting out there is coming right back to you. So have at it with those death spells. I mean, what do you seriously think is coming back when you're sending death energy to somebody? Well, seriously, ask yourself, what do you think is coming back to you? Life? A happy life? I don't think so. That's not how the law of attraction works. So when you do start exercising your free will to work with law of attraction, you make sure that's amazing, light, love and everything. You make sure it's good. You don't start using the law of attraction, right, to pull in your manifestations to hurt another human being and sending it out. I don't think so. That's not how it works. That's coming right back to you. It's a form of karma. It's the cause and effect you put out there. So, and it happens all the time. I see it all the time. It's really bad. You can't even educate these people on it because they're just so delusional. They are so, I know everything, you don't know a damn thing. I don't know everything, but I know enough to stay hell away from that kind of crap. I know enough to stay away from practicing white magic. I don't do any of that. I had to clean that crap up. So, but yeah, it's crazy that I spent a lot of time. I just spent recent time close up another gateway that some idiots just took it upon themselves on private land to open up so they can just do the spell work and pull in deities to hurt everybody else around them. You know, if this stuff was purely made illegal, right? Because it can't be proven or disproven, so it can't really be a law. You'll be known as psychopaths. You'll be in prison or probably mental institutions. But because it's all hidden and it's underlining sort of stuff, right? This is why you do it in the darkness. This is why you do it in your little closets and stuff. And because it's weird stuff and you shouldn't be doing it. But what's done in the darkness is always seen in the light anyway. You seriously don't think you can hide anything from high vibrational people or the Most High or anybody? I don't think so. There's an order to everything. You cannot have darkness and all the crap you do within that without the light. You can't have one without the other. So if you don't like the light, you might want to get right with some high vibrational god or something, right? Because you do not want to be trapped what I understand when I'm doing, when I'm as a light anchor, what I do when I'm sort of anchoring in my light for souls, lost souls, usually on like 2D or 3D, 2D or 1D, very low vibrational energies. It's more of a dark space. That's an area you do not want your energetic soul after death to go to. You can call it purgatory. You can call it hell. You can call it what you want, right? Depending on your belief system. But it's a dimension that your energy soul, your soul is your literal energy source. That is where it moves to. If you seriously think your soul's going anywhere high dimensional after death, after doing this kind of crap to people in life, you are as delusional in life as you're going to be in the afterlife. It is mind-blowing. And I had to be assertive. I have to be this assertive, and I'm an assertive person anyway. But I have to be this assertive to try and make you people understand so you don't start losing your soul, because your soul is everything. If your soul wasn't important or worth much, why would people want to buy it off you? Ask yourself that when you're out there selling your soul. Why? They know how precious your soul is. They know how important your souls are, right? That's why they want to buy them. They want to buy them. Why? Ask yourself logically, why do you want to buy my soul? Why are you willing to give me $60 million a year to do this job, right? For my soul. Wow, my soul is worth it. Ask yourself, ask them why. Now, logically, if somebody came to me and said, well, it's not possible. If I'm going to talk about the devil, we've got the light and dark within us. We've got the shadow side of us and the light side of us. So you've got the little devil on your one shoulder and you've got the angel on the other, right? Well, that little devil's always like, hi, sell me your soul, whatever you want, I'll give you anything. Like, you little demon, it's off. You can't afford my soul. There's nothing on this third dimensional planet, right? In the human experience, there's nothing you can give me or seduce me with that is worth my soul, because I know how important my soul is and how sacred it is. That's why you're around selling it, and you're not. So but you can do what you want because you can exercise your free will as much as you want. But I have to be assertive to explain why. That's how you know if someone's willing to pay you billions of dollars and millions and whatever they're paying you, right, for your soul. You've got to be asking yourself, why is that? Is there something important about my soul that I should be maybe thinking about not maybe selling it? So yeah, otherwise, why would they buy it off you? Why would they buy your soul if they were soul harvesting? You've got to understand what you're getting involved in before you get involved. Not watch the stupid shit you see on TV that's seducing you into getting with these people and learning about, oh my God, I need to be part of a cult now. I'm part of a covenant. I need to be at my festival. I'm not a follower, thank God. Right? So I don't need to belong anywhere. I belong to me. So when you are literally, oh my God, I've got to belong to this and because my life is so boring and I don't know what my purpose is. Figure it out. But becoming part of a cult or anything like that, and then getting involved in rituals you don't fully understand because you've been seduced into it by what that big black box has been telling you to do. It's called mind control. It's called programming, mind programming. So, and you blindly follow like the blind sheep that you are. You probably need to maybe do some more research before you even get involved in anything. I mean, you can do what you want. You can belong to who you want. You can join a brotherhood for all I care. None of my business. But what you're doing and what you're getting involved in is coming right back to you, whether you like it or not, regardless of who you are or who you think you are. And there's no amount of money that is going to, I'm the richest person on the planet, so I can do what I want. No, you can't, you little maniac. At all. But you think like that. Of course you think like that. That's your unhealthy ego screaming, check me out. I mean, how more insecure can you be? How more unbelievably self-loathing can you be in oneself when you've got to portray, I am the most powerful being on this planet? No, you're not. because you're exercising lower vibrational behaviors and you're exercising low vibrational frequency, and that's it. And everything you're doing is about as low as it gets. That's not a powerful being. That's not even a powerful person. That's about the weakest person you're ever going to meet. You just happen to be the weakest person with a lot of money. That's all. That's it. There's no power in that. So, but again, depends on what levels people are getting. But it's crazy that what people are getting involved in today is just. I didn't even really, when I was growing up as a teenager, we always like did stupid things like, oh my God, let's play with a Ouija board, right? Because you do, because it's part of like, it's kind of what you sort of, you hear about it, oh my God, blah, 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 they're playing with a Ouija board. You try it once and it freaks you out. You don't do it again. Never did it since, right? But these are the ways you learn, because and there's nothing, it's not the gateway. A Ouija board is a board game. It's not the gateway to hell. It's the intention of what you're doing. But that doesn't mean you're not connecting to spirits and energies, right? But you don't know who you're contacting. But I'm not saying it's the gateway to hell or anything like that. So understand and know what you're doing and tampering with before you do it. And when you're a stupid teenager, you don't think like, oh, I'm just going to try it, right? Because I'm immortal. You learn quickly, oh my God, I just got spooked. But for me, it was a bit different because I've always worked with energy, even as a kid. So I've always known there was a lot more going on the other side anyway, beyond the here and now. I've always known. So I was always going to be like, but I always knew. My guardians were like, I don't think so, Karen. No. Right? So I had to learn the hard way, and it was not pleasant. It was spooky, and it scared the shit out of me. And that's what it naturally, and that's what it does. It should do. So you don't do it again. Right, so there you go. You learn as a child, you learn as a teenager, and like, oh, that's probably something I probably don't want to be messing around with. But I never really heard of like, I knew of covenants, and I knew of people like the witches and whatever they're labeling themselves. And I was always aware of people doing voodoo, but they were like few and far between. They were just there, but not there. These days, it's everywhere you go. It's happening in every freaking community. I have yet to go to a community where there isn't a covenant. I mean, what the actual? I mean, seriously, it is great. This country is the most beautiful country one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. It's an amazing country, but it is full of nut jobs. This poor country is full of maniacs involved in some crazy shit, right? And it just needs the house of the United States of America. It's a beautiful place. I love this country. But man, this house needs clearing up, right? Because these people it's weird. I mean, not all, thank God. Right? That's a lot. It's just, again, but then again, when you think about England, let me go back to my country now and really like insult my people, because we've got some right people in my country too. But they do it more in the shadows. It's more hidden, right? But that doesn't mean they're not involved in the same crap, the same stuff. They are. And it's not as bad because it's only a small country. It's a small island, right? Compared to America. America's huge. England's like that. You've got the same types of people, just on a smaller amount. That's all. Right? No different. Still fully dysfunctional upstairs, getting involved in Satanism and stuff like that. I mean, that's coming out in the light in England. I mean, that's coming to the surface. But when you understand who is involved in that, and then you understand why it trickulates over here, why it trickulated here, right? When we started taking over this country back in the day, what we brought here from Europe. I mean, you think about your European ancestors, and then where they came from and what they were involved in, and they bring that to this amazing, beautiful country. And now you've got generations from ancestral generations getting involved in this stuff, but without the truth. And a lot of them were into really, like when I think about oh God, here we go, the throat chakra. Okay, so I love it when they, because it's like energies wants me to shut the F up, and I'm not going to. No. So now, when I think about my Celtic ancestors in Ireland and Scotland, I mean, ancestors. I'm from a very old bloodline. Me too. Bloodline originates from Egypt, Israel to Celtic. I mean, my bloodline is it's huge. It's very old. But when I think about the Celtics, I mean, my ancestors were part of the Druid back in the day. You know, they were Celtics. You would be known as sort of, what would you call them, like Celtic witches or whatever. I don't like those labels. They're just labels, by the way. But it's just the sort of paganism they were into and stuff like that. Again, whatever their belief systems were, that's what they're involved in. And some of them were really bad, but then some of them were just all about love and light and, you know, Mother Gaia. That's it, right? I don't connect with my bad ancestors because they have I don't need to clear up any of their karmatic debt because they don't want to. They're quite happy where they are. But my other ancestors, I'm constantly clearing up karmatic debt, ancestral debt, changing the lineage of my bloodline. Absolutely, right? That's why I don't do stupid shit and I don't get involved in anything, good or bad. I don't do white magic. I'm not involved in witchcraft in any shape or form. I'm not involved in any of that because I understand my bloodline and I understand my ancestral karma and clearing up for them. But can I be in service to people and do what I do for the most high and higher dimensional sources? Absolutely. And my true DNA ancestors? Yeah. That's why I do what I do. And I stay right on the absolute light side and the good side. There's no corrupting someone like me. You're joking, right? I get it all. I've got to spend 48 years of people constantly trying to corrupt me or shut me up and shut me down or take me out. Because they don't like my light, because they don't understand why I have to just do the right thing all the time or be a good. It's because I'm not an evil, stupid piece of shit in human form. That's why. It's a choice to be that. I choose to be the complete opposite to what most people are today. And my light annoys people. I don't care. I trigger demons in people all the time. I don't care. I'm meant to. If I'm triggering your demons, good. It's time you started healing and waking up. It's time to sort of snap out and, you know, wake up that soul of yours and start the shadow work. That's what I do. So it annoys people, but it's not my problem to care. There's a lot of people that I've had to trigger them a little bit. I mean, I don't go out there and annoy people or anything like that. I'm just there, I'm present. So my presence is what does it. That's it. My light is what annoys. I can walk into a room and just literally change the dynamics of that energy in less than 5 minutes. Most people are going to leave because they don't like my light, because they're too low vibrational. A lot of people are probably going to start shaking. I'm going to get hated within 10 minutes. Like, who does she think she is? I don't think I'm anybody. I know exactly who I am. But people that have no, people who are like, well, what does she think? They don't know who they are. They don't even know who they are. It's one thing to know who you are and another to not know, but accuse everybody else of who do they think they are. Yeah. The people that are screaming that crap have no idea who they actually are. Because what's triggering them is that one person, or not just me, I'm talking about me as an example, one person who knows who they are, they're going to bring that out. They're going to trigger that in everybody else. They're going to trigger out the non-knowers of oneself immediately. And that's what makes them get agitated and aggressive. So, but we don't care. We don't do anything. We don't do anything to deserve it. We don't do anything apart from just be present, right? Because we're meant to. We're meant to sort of shine and let people say, hey, there is not just a dark side to this world. There's actually a light side too. You should take a look. Right? So, but that's not what the light and the good doesn't sell. It doesn't. It's not going to get you. It's not going to make you rich or get you powerful in that way, in that third dimensional, messed up way you think is life. No, that's an illusion. You're being fed an illusion And only the delusional minds will buy into being fed the delusion of a life that isn't even real, it's fake. And it lasts mere minutes, it's fleeting. So, but they say people don't know what they're doing. Well, they do. Ignorance will only get you, I mean, a lot of people are ignorant, yeah, of course. But ignorance will only take you so far, because you still know right from wrong. You still know when you're doing something bad to another human being. And if you still do it, you're making a conscious choice to do it, and now you can't, there's your cause and effect taking their place. Just because you're not going to get your karma straight away doesn't mean you're not going to get it, right? Yeah, it comes. So someone like me, as an example, I get a lot of sort of energy attacks sent to me all the time. I mean, oh God, seriously. It's like, is that the best you got? But I have, I love it when the truth does not want to be known. Let me see what's coming through. I think you just got to reevaluate, question everything. I'm always telling people to question everything. Oh, okay. I'm always telling people to question everything. Because when you question everything, you have more information on what you want to get involved in, right? I get it. Everything that you deem is beautiful. Like, oh my God, look at that, beautiful. Look at everything's, she's beautiful, he's beautiful. I mean, yeah, well, that isn't necessarily what's going on inside, right? When you're seduced by the visual beauty, you are so open to, you that is the basic, most, how do I say this? If you're so seduced by the visual, what you deem is beautiful, and you're not, and you don't know that, let's just use people as an example, right? So, you got a beautiful woman, and the typical man is going to be like, oh, check her out, right? But he doesn't know the depth of her at all. So he knows nothing about her, but he's just so taken and drawn in. I mean, like, you just go back to the Greek gods for that, right? Drawn by the whole, oh my God, so beautiful. He will literally destroy his own life just to get close to that woman and get with that one, that beautiful woman. And usually they tend to be a lot younger these days, because most men today, unfortunately, are perverts. That's nothing new. And just switch the sexes or whatever you want to, whatever your taste is, whatever you prefer is your preference, right? So a woman's the same thing. Like, oh my God, he's so hot, he's so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so going to become obsessed with him, right? Well, a lot of women think like this. We're emotional. We're more emotional. So a lot of our actions are based off emotions, where men tend to lack emotion. They have more emotional immaturity, whereas women are very, very, very emotional. So we think more emotionally in them, and men tend to be more logical. So they're just like, oh, I want it, right? I'll ruin my whole family for it and everything. But women are the same, but women are more cunning and manipulative, right? Because we think deeper than men. So a lot more thought goes into what a woman wants. Now, if she is the type of woman, those sort of women that are not very high value at all, they're the type of women that will not only, I'm trying to give an example in this society today. She will literally live a double life, right? She could be married with kids and everything, and she will hide everything that she does from her own family, but in the process be completely destroying another family unit for her own selfish needs. So when men are seduced by those women, but again, it's no different. Women are seduced by those men too. Men are doing it all this. It's just a human condition, the most selfish human condition, but it's all visual based, right? Because when you sort of learn about somebody, when you learn about the depth of somebody, You make different decisions, make different choices. Like, beautiful, but man, you've got nothing going on inside at all. Like, there's a bit of an empty shell going on. That's a red flag. Okay, why have you got an empty shell? What's happening there? Why are you so cold? Why are you so vindictive, manipulative? Because all men and women are like that. So what's going on? But they're not going to let you know them because they don't know themselves. So a lot of people today, are damaged in more ways, in so many different ways, that they don't want people to know that. So they put on a facade, and usually they're happy and beauty. They can hide that. It's a mask. But they can give the appearance of there's got so much going on. They're all about this and they're all about that, but they're really not. And unfortunately, these days, men are so there's no difference. There's no difference in the sexes today. But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to this sort of behaviour, the human condition behaviour, the men and women are about as bad as each other now. It used to be back in the day where men would just be destroyed, and not these days. It's like it's just a giant game. It's a game of fake facade, right? But that's the problem. So now you've got, and through advertising and through predictive programming, you're never going to look beyond the visual. You're never going to want to know what's within the depth of a person. That's not what you're programmed to do. You're programmed to see, look, like, screw, spend on it, screw, procreate if the system even wants you procreating anymore. Because to be perfectly honest, we're like overpopulated apparently. But again, see, take, screw. See, take, screw. That's why there's so much choice. That's all you're programmed to do. You're not interested in the depth of a person. And that's why, what happens with that is you become more cold. You're being programmed to be a cold shell. You're not understanding your true human experience and what you're supposed to be doing. You're not programmed for any of that. Unless you go for a major awakening and stuff like that. So now these are the types of people that are so visually beautiful and closed off and cold that they want everything without effort. That's not the reality of life, but they want everything without effort. And unfortunately, in this day and age, I'd say 70% of those are women. They want and they can use the most powerful tool, right? So, and that's what they do. But they want everything without effort. And if they want something that belongs to somebody else, they don't care. They're going to take it. So I've just republished The Silent Storm. I mean, I'm always sort of amending my work anyway, but you should get that book of mine, right? You see, the whole point of The Silent Storm is it's about the human condition, and it's all to do with jealousy, and it's all to do with how far people will go to take what they want, and what they will do and the lies they will destroy in their wake to take what they want. That's pretty much what The Silent Storm's about. But then it's also to do with, like, a lot of cases I work on, and a lot of the victims that I work with, understanding why they were victims, and understanding the types of perpetrators, and sort of understanding who they were murdered by and stuff like this. You see, I can get an energetic profile of that sort of psychopath, or the villain. It's all to do with, again, the human condition. So understanding all of that, which is why I wrote Silent Storm, because I managed to throw in a mixture of so many different human conditions. So then you've got a major serial killer in there, and you've got then you've got the appearance of somebody that's so beautiful and pure and everything, but probably not. And then you've got the worst types of people, men and, in male and female version, different characters, but they all have a coldness that's conditioned into them through social conditioning, cultural conditioning, religious conditioning, the programming. I don't even like the word conditioning, because it's all just programming the mind to act and be this way. So Yeah, that's why I really wanted to sort of, that's why I love writing The Silent Storm. But obviously it's a thriller and it's fictional, but it's based off cases I've worked on. And I just managed to sort of like collate them into a novel of crazy shit that people will do to people to get what they want. It's all to do with society today. More so when the internet really sort of took effect back in the day, when it really, I mean, good Lord. I remember when we used to use the dial-up. God, that whole dial-up waiting to get online, it was horrible. Everything's great today because it's so convenient and fast. But I remember the generations today, they wouldn't be able to deal with waiting for the dialing system. They'd lose their minds. They would lose their literal minds. I mean, so you see how we're not evolving properly as a human species at all. And those of us that are, we're the ones trying to teach people and how to evolve, which we're going to have a bigger problem when you think about in the realm of spirituality and depending through the areas of religions that people are using to do what they want, hiding behind their religions, using their religions as alibis for their behaviors, their human conditional behaviors. It is not acceptable at all. That's what you've got to change. So until we change the human conditioning, you're not going to change any of this religious dogmas and all these fallacies that people keep bringing to the table. And you are not going to change this new generations of witches and warlocks and whatever they're calling them and labeling themselves today, that are actually creating a big mental health problem. So because they are destructive people, and they're taking that destructive behaviors into the magic or the witchcraft or whatever they're getting involved in, whatever the rituals they're performing, they're taking that destructive behavior into that. So now when they have to deal with the realities, the spiritual realities, again, depending on what you believe in, you're going to fear more. If you have if you're afraid of a major religious belief, you're going to fear that more. So that's going to affect your mind. Spiritually, if you understand the implications of what you're messing around with, right? And you don't like the implications and the result, depending on how bad it is, and you're talking about, again, energy. I mean, it's so hard to explain because not everybody believes in this sort of thing. But when you're getting involved in darkness, dark side of energies, and you're tampering with like entities and things like that, that is going to absolutely destroy you, probably physically and psychologically. This is what is going to contribute to causing more mental health problems in the future. This is why you need to know what you're messing around with before you mess into it. When you start tampering with anything, you need to know what you're tampering with. But you also need to understand the implications, because that will happen to you whether you think it will or not. So I guess that's the lesson of the day. Know what you're messing around with before you mess around with it, and know what the implications are and the results of what will happen if you go ahead and do it. And all you have to remember is what you do to another will come back to you. That is it. So I'm always advocating, do great stuff, do good stuff, be kind. Kindness is free. Do that, because that's what's coming back. That is your law of attraction. That's your cause and effect. That is what's going to come back. But if you're going to go the dark side and you're going to use the shadow side of everything, you're going to commit evil acts with it, and you're going to hurt another human being, that is what's coming back to you, whether you like it or not. You're not immune from it. You're not going to escape it. You're not that powerful. Powerful people don't hide in the shadows, and they don't hurt other human beings. Powerful people help people. They lift them up. So that's the difference. There is no power. All you're doing, you just think you're creating fear. And that is where you're getting that powerful feeling from. is knowing you're making people fear you. You're a coward. Only cowards make people fear them. Literal, low vibrational, self-loathing cowards. Weird. But that's where that level of power is. There's a need for that in the human condition. I need to be the most powerful so I can make everybody fear me. God, you must really hate yourselves. I mean, you must. Because if you didn't hate yourself, you wouldn't even think like that. You wouldn't even need to think like that. It's like, God, why can't I have all this power. I need to really implement it. I mean, I have a lot of power, but I implement it into helping others, being in service to people. That is where my power comes from. You can't put a price tag on that. That's the difference between dark power and light power. And light will always win the dark. That expires. The light doesn't. So that's why we can't be bought. That's why you can't put a price tag. No, we are known as high value human beings. We are not high maintenance. We don't work on the shadow side of us. We are high value. There's no price tag. High maintenance can be bought. High value, not a chance in hell. That's the difference. So I guess I'm going to end it there. I was hoping to sort of, well, I didn't really need to bring the notes into it. I didn't even need to write them because it was all just sort of coming out anyway. But you are not going to become a witch or a warlock or a powerful, whatever the hell you're trying to be, by being part of little groups on TikTok or social media or anything like that. Most of those people probably need some therapy. They're very unhealed people. You do not need to be following unhealed people. You need to just be following yourself, really, and figuring out why you need to heal and why you're so attracted to unhealed people. Because it's a shadow work you've got to do within you. And why you're tempted to that. What's tempting you to the dark side? Because that's not going to save you. And there's no power there. So, that's pretty much it. Get with the light. Get on the right side of life. Get on the good side. Be a good, kind human being. We need those back. We need more good people back in the world. We need to, but the balance will always restore itself anyway. I mean, there's a lot of good people out there. It's just there. And you cannot, and I don't care what your religious belief is. I really don't give a flying flip-flop, right? I don't care who you're praying to. But there's a lot of fake Christians out there. I'm a Christian. I'm God's. Like, are you? But you're cheating with your neighbour. You're committing infidelity. You're doing low vibrational behaviours. You're not. You're a fake Christian. You're a fake God-loving Christian. Because the rules only apply to you when it suits you. You're an entitled person who thinks they're going to be forgiven on Sunday. No, you're not. Well, you will by probably the Most High. But you're going to pay the price, and the consequences are coming back to you. You want to destroy someone's life, that's what's going to happen to you. You want to break up a family unit, that's what's going to happen to you when you finally have yours, or when you're finally happy. Everything that you do to somebody is coming back to you. And I can tell you something right now as well, regardless of how religious you are, that Most High, that God Almighty is like, time for that fake worshipper right there to get there. It's time for them to learn a few lessons. Yeah, can't have that. It's an insult to the sanctuary of what you think you believe in. It contradicts your religious dogma. This is why I'm a spiritual minister and an assertive one, and not a fake religious minister that's going to sell you the idea of you can do what you want, but please don't forget to go to church on Sunday, put your money in the basket and pray to God and ask for forgiveness. No, I'm being honest. You're going to get yours, right? So you can learn your lessons. Those healed people, look, I've been there. I've made these mistakes. I'm speaking from experience. So I don't do that anymore. I'm not the same woman I was a year ago, let alone 2 years ago. I'm not the same woman I was 10, 20, 30 years ago at all. because you grow. You heal, you learn, you grow. You heal, you learn, you grow. You heal, you learn, you grow. Right? And you become a high vibrational, better version of yourself. If you keep making the same mistakes, you aren't healed, you aren't learned, you aren't grown or anything. You just, okay? So I get a lot of people telling me, oh my God, you're so different. Well, of course I'm different. I don't do what I used to do back in the day because I'm not the same person. I don't do those low vibrational behaviors anymore because I'm not the same person. I don't drink like I used to because I don't drink like that anymore. I'm not the same person. I like a glass of wine once in a while. Why not? But I don't drink to excess anymore because I'm not the same person than I was a year ago or anything like that. I'm always ever evolving. We're supposed to be evolving all the time, right? So when you're staying in those low vibrational behaviors and you're not growing and there's no real growth, or you're not going to heal. You cannot heal when you're not growing. You're not doing it. You're not implementing the steps to make yourself better. And if you have to get therapy, then go and get it. But do your research on your therapist and stuff like that. Just everything, not everything that you believe is real is real. Just because this sort of system that we live in, being educated by in every walk of life, tells you that's all weird, that's weird shit, that's wrong, that no. They don't even know what they're talking about. They've been educated by a system that's thousands of years old that's educated them to think like that for one reason, to keep people looking in a different direction. Because it doesn't pay the system. It doesn't pay the system for people to be healed, does it? Right? They need unhealed people to make money. They need unhealthy people to make money. They need badly educated people so they can keep them enslaved and suppressed. Well, I'm not on that side of the system, right? I'm on the other side, the opposite side, the duality of that, right? That's it. And I want more people to come out of that crap and come over to the other side and like, hey, you see what I'm saying? No. There's a lot more to this world and this life than that. That's going to keep you in debt. That's going to keep you suppressed, enslaved, and raising your next generations to be enslaved by human beings. Human beings will keep this evil, disgusting enslavement system going in every walk of life. And the biggest way to do that, the easiest way, is to just make sure you've got plenty of sex, plenty of food, plenty of money, a little bit of power. I'm not going to give you too much power because you'll take that and you'll go, oh, I'm going to change the system. Well, they're not going to let you change the system, right? That's why that power on the dark side doesn't last very long. True power is where we are. True power is on the light. That's why the dark side doesn't like us for a reason, right? Because our power is everlasting. Theirs is limited. So you just got to sort of look at things differently and objectively and go, what am I really getting out of this way of living? Apart from destruction and the destruction I'm causing, an obsession because he or she doesn't want to sleep with me anymore, and he or she won't continue to cheat on their spouses with me anymore. Oh my God, I'm so going to destroy that. Yeah, you're completely systemized 100%, and you need serious therapy. That's how people think today, but that's the most basic animal instincts that you're living off. Feed you that with just like plenty of sex, right? Oh, check that out. Swipe, right? Porn, everything. So if they keep you distracted there, in the entertainment business, in the entertainment industries and all that sort of stuff, right? They keep you distracted with all of that low vibrational shit, you're not going to you're not even going to understand the true reality of life apart from what you've been fed into your tiny little brains and your left side too, right? So anything that's different to you or is weird or not normal, yeah, of course you're going to be like, oh my God, you don't belong here. You don't belong to one. Who are you? You belong exactly where you belong, where you are. In a little like pits of, seriously, in that fields full of lambs and sheep, right? And God forbid a lion rolls up and goes, what is this? Check out my dinner. Be a tiger. I'd rather be a tiger or a lion than a sheep. Because you're weak. Why not? So those on the light side and the fully functional, high vibrational side that are not part of the system that you're being mind controlled into, we're not weak. Unfortunately, you peoples are, because you're still slaves. And when you're easily triggered, but you're not understanding what's triggered you and why you're triggered and why that person annoys you and you're not addressing it or you're not doing the shadow work, it's because you've been systemized. So, and then the fastest way to keep everybody systemized these days is for religion systemization, monetary systemization, right? Everything, educational systemization. There is not one system within this system that does not systemize you. You just got to understand it, see it, and snap out of it and go, oh, no, I'm not, no, don't need to be limited, no. But you're not going to, because not yet. So most people, not all, still trapped in it. But that's what I feed you, this witchcraft shit. Because that's seductive and it's like sex, it sells. My God, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind trying that with my little in-groups. But you know what, you've created a cult, a little covenant in your little communities, and now you've become destructive human beings. You bring all your low vibrational behaviors into the equation. And then, oh my God, with that one's different. She or he's not like us. We need to get rid of that person. Therapy. So, but for me, my life's great. I get to do magical stuff in the high vibrational sense where I can close your little gateways and cleanse your little dark stuff you're throwing around everywhere, and I can release the silly little jealous, I hate that person spells and death spells on people. I can pull all of that out. I can help people clean up your crap, and that's what I do. So it's sad that as we're going into sort of 2024, it's a year where everything's going to be different. Like people are going to see the dualities, and it's going to shock a lot of people. But they're rather going to be shocked and go, oh no, I'm going to just stick with the uncomfortable lies and stay systemized. Or they're going to, no way, we're out. Well, I don't care how we do it, we're going to find a way out of it. Because it's the season of karma. This 2024 is literal season of karma. The literal cause and effect cycle of everything. So, and that's what people are going to be dealing with. And I feel 2024, what I've been sort of getting the hits in my sources and stuff, high sources, is it's going to be so intense karmatically, like the karmatic cycles that we create. They're going to be so intense and so ferocious in a way where it's going to help, it's going to hurt people, but it's going to help them. Like it's going to be the thing that is the turning point for them, for a lot of people. So it's going to help and save a lot of people. And that's what it's going to cause a different sort of slightly educational lesson. But it's going to be on a very a collective scale, not just a few here and there. You're going to see a lot of people going through karma, and you need to stay the hell away from them while they're dealing with it. Because there's one thing I will say, one thing now about this stupid TikTok crap and all this crap I'm hearing about, and these little witches and idiots that don't know what they're talking about. This whole like, you can switch karma, you can transfer your karma into somebody. I don't think so, you delusional little freaks. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's not how that works, right? You're not going to transfer your karma to somebody else at all, because you're not powerful. You're a low vibe and you're doing black magic, right? You don't know what you're doing. But the fact that you think you can transfer your karma into somebody else, ethically, I don't think so, right? You need to understand what you're getting involved in. And secondly, this whole like, this is another thing that's a big problem in society today, dysfunctional, is this whole unaliving people spells, right? And teaching these teachings of, if you send a death spell to this person, once they die, you can switch souls. demented people. I swear to God. I can't even hide how embarrassed I feel. I can't even hide the language of how idiotic you people are. Switching souls, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you learnt that crap, right? But you might want to re-evaluate who the hell you're associating with, right? That's not possible. That's not how, no. I don't know who who is teaching you peoples, to think if you send an unaliving spell, a death spell to somebody, just send the monitoring spirit to them, and once their soul leaves their body, you can switch that. You're absolutely off your goddamn minds. You're giving spirituality a really bad name. You don't know what you're talking about. It's really embarrassing. You might want to just sort of go into a quiet space, go to your ancestors, and just take a few slaps across your face to wake you up. Because that is absolutely, fundamentally off the charts embarrassing. I don't even have the right words to express how idiotic that is. That's something that's going around. Is this whole death spells, soul steal, yeah, what was it? Soul steal and transferring karma. And your karma's yours, you little freaks. Right? You see how entitled and narcissistic you are. You've all become spiritual narcissists. That's the problem today. Full-blown spiritual narcissists selling this idea, sending death spells and transferring karma. How much more spiritually narcissistic can you get than that? That you can't even deal with your own karma, that you think you can transfer it to another, and you think you're going to soul steal so you can steal someone's destiny. You're just delusional. I don't even think there's therapists out there that can deal with you peoples either. I don't think there's doctors out there that even specialize in that. And I don't want to be dealing with you. Because as a doctor in my field, in parapsychology, and understanding what you're doing, I'm going to tell you to get a life and work on yourself and start healing yourself, because you hate yourself so much that you can't even understand how delusional you've become in your self-loathing. I can't hide the truth about human behavior when it comes to this kind of crap. You people like this, you need serious therapy. You're very unhealed people, and you've probably got a lot of stuff going on. But I would highly recommend you find doctors that specialize in whatever mental health condition you've got or psychological problem you've got. You need to address that and steer the hell away from spirituality, because this is not going to be good for your mental state at all. And I'm just being honestly kind about it. You need to fix the underlying mental health problem you've got going on there, right? Because if you don't, you're going to be seduced by these people twisting these delusions and narcissism into you, and then you're going to become like, and that's the problem. We're just dealing with full-blown spiritual narcissists today that are involved in so much different stuff, but they don't like karma, so they're going to try and they think they can. The universe and consciousness and everything is billions of years old, and you've got these little spiritual new age narcissists coming into society today going, we know how to transfer karma. No, you're not. You're a narcissist that doesn't know how to take full responsibility for your own actions. You don't want to deal with what you've done, so now you're and then soul stealing, trying to steal into people's destinies. Do you not understand how any of this works at all? You need a real metaphysical education. Seriously, start with that, and then good luck. And absolutely go and get that therapy you need, because once you understand that, you understand the true realities of how it all works, right? And you're going to need an education And then the whole concept of getting rid of the narcissistic traits you've got. You see, you're a narcissist, and that's what you need therapy with. You need therapy to deal with your narcissism, right? But because you're not dealing with that, you're becoming a spiritual narcissist. You're taking that into the realm of spirituality and you're abusing it. And you're abusing people and you're doing harm with it. And you're doing harm to yourself too. So that is the only good advice I can give you as a minister from the realm of spirituality. And that's not going to save you. There's no soul transferring soul. If you see somebody getting, the closest you're going to get to that is, which is probably where you've got this from, when you're sort of getting in, when you're hanging around with sort of people, like if you're in part of your in-groups and you feel like, God, that person's going through so much karma, or that person's got real major issues going on, and that's just drama. That is just walking drama on two legs with fake tits and stuff like that, right? Oh my God, look at all this, this is drama. It's called drama karma for a reason, right? Those sort of people are probably dealing with their own karma. Now, if you start hanging out with them, you're probably going to start, you're just going to be transferring their behaviors, not their karma, but you're going to feel like your life's going to crap because of who you're associating with, who you're hanging about with. So when you're hanging about with those sort of people, yeah, you're going to be dealing with their sort of karma, but you're not going to transfer karma that belongs to you. That's not how that works. I think they're trying to manipulate that, the idea of it's who you associate with. If you see somebody dealing with their karma, like, you deserve that. I remember when you were doing all that kind of crap, blah, 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 to those people for all of those years, and now you're sort of dealing with the same stuff. And you can tell, you can say, going through, it looks like you're getting yours. You might want to stay away from that person until they come out of that cycle, right? Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with their bullshit. That's all it is. You're going to be dealing with their crap. So when I usually say to people, you see people going through the karma, stay the hell away from them. You just don't want to be dealing. It's not the karma you're going to be dealing with, it's them. It's the drama, karma they bring into their lives and they create. And you just don't want to be around it. So if you don't know how to sort of the easiest way for me is when I see somebody going through karma, or I'm starting to get to know somebody and I'm like, you just a karma drama starts here, aren't you? You're just one of those slanderous little manipulative little lying. You've probably got psychological lying problems going on too. Like, there's a lot of that going on too. But these are the drama starters, the rumor creators, and that sort of drama starters. Those people. The moment I get an inkling of a little red flag, the tiny sort of red flag will go, oh, we've got a karma drama starter here. I'm out. I will drop that person in a hot second. I do not care. I'm that rude. I will pull away from everybody. If I even suspect there is an in-group going on, or I'm surrounded by people that are full of drama, probably dealing with the karma of it, slandering other people, gossiping, toxic behavior, I'm done. I don't associate with those sort of people, and they're everywhere today. So you have to learn how to sort of be alone and enjoy your own company for a while. Trust me, because until that behavior stops, it's not gonna change. So you're gonna have to sort of learn how to be alone and love you. Actually, loving your own company is part of loving you. So, and none of those people love themselves. That's why they have so much drama, karma in their lives. So I hope that sort of helps. And no, you can't be stealing destinies of people, soul swapping destinies. Oh God, seriously. And there's no transferring your karma onto anybody else either, ethically. And if you're even going to start thinking that's true and you're going to start doing it, you better know who's protecting them, because you don't want to be messing with some people's ancestors, because they'll just like take you to the cleaners ethically. And I'll discuss what can happen on the ether amongst ancestral bloodlines and family lines, and the wars that are constantly going on the ether. It's interesting, put it that way. So, but I'll discuss that in another video, because that is an interesting topic. And because it can't be proven or disproven, and I can't show you it or explain it, it's still, I still don't have a problem like discussing it, because it's actually entertaining. So, I'll discuss that at some point. And that's only because I do a lot of work on the ether, and I get to sort of experience a lot and see a lot. And like I say, I do a lot of karmatic, ancestral karma. I clear a lot of that sort of debt up. It's nothing to do with transferring karma. It's just living differently, doing the right thing. It clears a lot of debt on the ether. I'll explain that when I do that video, because it all sort of interconnects with it anyway. So I'm going to leave this sort of little Sunday service there, and I hope I hope my assertiveness can just sort of shock some of you into snapping out of this delusional, spellbinding programming you've been seduced into, and just wake up and understand, it's for your own good. It's to help you regardless of your state of mind, whatever, If you need help, please get help. Do your research on who you're getting help from. But other than that, be kind, because kindness is free. It don't cost you anything, and you don't have to sell yourself for it either.